Hey guys, welcome to Brick Hub. This is a review of the LEGO Downtown Diner. This is set number 10260, is rated for ages 16 plus. It has 2,480 pieces and it retails for $170 in the United States. As always guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please comment below to share your opinions, please check out my other videos, and finally, please subscribe to this channel for more content just like this. Let's get started. Here's a quick shot of the back so you guys get an idea of some of the cool features in this set. So inside the box, as you can see, there are over 20 numbered bags, numbered from 1 through 5, an instruction manual, and 3 loose plates as well as 1 base plate. So here is the final build, and I have to say, there were a lot of surprises in this set. I did not expect to like this set as much as I am now. Honestly, I actually did not think I would like this set at all from the images, but now that I've built it in person, I have a certain appreciation for it, because the designer used a lot of very unique building styles, including a lot of studless connections, and I mean, I've never seen some of the building techniques that this builder uses, and I'll show you guys some of them as we take a look at this set. Let's take a look at some of the other sides of this set. Here's a look at the right side of the set. As you can see, there's a staircase leading up to the second floor here, and a curved spiral staircase leading up to the third floor, and finally a ladder leading up to the roof. On the back side, you get a better look at that spiral staircase, and you can see that there's a crate down below. Inside the crate, they have these two 1x1 studs. Not really quite sure exactly what they're supposed to signify, but that's there for some added detail. Just like every other modular before it, there is a part that doesn't look quite as good as it could, and I would say that's these two panels right here. I wish it would have just been brick built or something, so that instead of using the panel, because it just doesn't look right to me, but otherwise I think the back side looks pretty good. And here's the final side. This is the left side of the building, and probably the most plain looking. I do have to appreciate the fact that it, for the most part, looks pretty good, with the exception of this one brick right here. I kind of wish they would have just molded that piece in the new, or the classic turquoise color, but I mean, other than that, I think the side looks pretty good for a side that's really not even supposed to be seen. And just like all the other modulars before it, each level or floor can be removed for better access to the interior. So let's take a look at the first floor, which is the diner. So here's a look at the inside of the diner from one side. As you can see, there's a cook cooking 2 bacon strips, as well as 1 pancake on the grill. There's also a drink dispenser with 2 different flavors, in orange flavor and green flavor. And there's a coffee pot there, below a coffee maker. Looking in from the opposite side, you can see that there's a booth with a platter of pancakes on top of the table, and on top of the table there is a napkin dispenser and a bottle of ketchup and a bottle of mustard on each side of the table. On the walls there are Hollywood stars, so that it kind of, I guess, has a little bit of a Carnegie's Deli feel to it, with maybe some images of popular celebrities. And next to the booth is a waitress who is carrying a ice cream sundae. Looking from the back of the diner out, you can see that there's a gumball machine up front, as well as 3 stools for people to sit on if they want to kind of sit next to the grill. Looking at the front from the outside, you can see that there is a nice printed clear door that says Gyms, and it has an open sign. Over here you can see that there looks to be a parking meter and maybe a mailbox. Now that door has a little bit more to it than you would expect. So here I've removed the door so you guys can get a better look at it, but on one side it says open, but if you flip it around, there's actually a closed printed on the other side. Now this is pretty cool, and I've never seen LEGO do anything like this, so this is a pretty welcome new addition. It's basically like a reverse print, so that on one side, I mean, you can kind of see the closed coming through, but it's a lot more obvious if you turn it around, and I think that's a pretty cool addition. Here's a better look at the interior from the front, and as you can see, there's a rack to the left that has a pan and what looks to be either a butcher knife or maybe it's supposed to be imagined as a spatula. And the hood vent is pretty nice. It covers just about the entire area of the grill, and there's a jukebox next to it. And here's a better look at the jukebox. It's pretty easy to pull out because it's only connected by jumper plates. and it's a pretty simple build all around, but I really do appreciate it, and the simplicity I kind of think makes it a lot better. And here's the gumball machine. The gumballs are kind of simulated with 1x1 round studs, or the round tiles, and it's, I mean, not much to it. It's also pretty easy to remove because it's connected by just 2 studs. And around the back, I showed you some of the other features earlier, but it does also have an opening door, so it, you know, a minifigure could go in and out of the kitchen pretty easily. Moving up to the second floor, as you can see, this is the gym. There's a nice little punching bag that actually kind of wiggles around a little bit here, and there are some pretty cool features like this boxing ring or maybe fighting mat. From this angle, as you can see, there is a nice weight rack, and the weights are actually removable. You can just pull them out and they slide right back in just like that. And there's a printed clock on the wall right up here. The bench is a relatively simple build, but a nice one, and of course the weights can be removed. And on the last side, you can see that there's a water dispenser and an opening blue door right here. So this staircase outside is one of the builds that I was just absolutely blown away by when building this. I've never seen anything done like this, and it just makes the build so much sturdier. It's actually, the way it's connected is there's this hinge right here, as well as these hinges up here and these panels, and it doesn't move. It's really sturdy, and like, the measurements had to be just exact, and I just, it's amazing. And as you can see, it's a pretty nice curvature all around. Now earlier I also talked about studless connections, and these windows on the side are a prime example of that. You might notice that they are a little bit offset, and they don't fit in exactly right, but it looks pretty nice. And the reason they're able to fit in like that is if you just kind of remove these 2 pieces, it literally just slides out, and the curvature of this arch just kind of sits like this and holds this window in, and it just uses a panel, and it's actually, basically, it's an upside down structure, and you put this arch over it, and I mean, it wiggles a little bit, but it stays fit. And finally, these windows on the side right here, this is also a sideways connection that I never seen done like that either, and I mean, this set designer is absolutely brilliant. Let's move up to the 3rd floor. So this is the front of the 3rd floor, and as you can see, it just continues this turquoise blue all the way around and continues those sideways windows as well. And on the front, if you remove this minifigure, you can get a better look at this door, but it also opens inwards towards the studio. On the right side of the 3rd floor, you can see that there is some flower plant or something here, and more of those windows that are not connected by any studs. For the most part, the back side is pretty plain, but it does have a nice ladder build, and this is a pretty good idea here. It uses these kinds of connections. I'm not exactly sure what these are called, but it uses these, and I think it looks pretty nice actually. And of course the door opens just like that. So here's a look at the tight interior of the studio. As you can see, there's a recording booth right here, of course, moving door, and there's a control panel right here with, maybe this is like a recording thing. I'm not quite sure what they're called. It's also pretty easily removed. It's just held in by 1 stud. On the wall, as you can see, there looks to be a rock and roll poster, or maybe it's a framed vinyl, and there's a table next to it with a bottle and 2 empty glasses. And on the wall next to the door leading outside, there is a golden record. There's also a red chair upon entering the room, and it swivels a little bit, but it swivels on a stud. It's not one of those turntable pieces, which is an interesting choice. Inside the recording booth, you can see a wall with some soundproofing material, as well as a classic style microphone in the center of the room. Looking at the roof of the building, there's this panel here that's kind of held on just by this one hinged bar, and you can just pull that all the way down and close it all the way. I'm not quite sure what this is supposed to be though, because it doesn't have stairs or anything leading inside. And there's some ladder bar pieces here so that it looks like the ladder is kind of continuing all the way over the top, which I think was a pretty nice addition. Looking from the back of the structure, you can see that there is a studless connection up here as they're held in by clips, and another studless connection held in by clips as well. This is actually upside down, and this one of those inverted tile pieces. And this whole structure up here, this rounded part, is also held in just by clips as well. There's also an antenna on top of the rounded structure, which I guess maybe they broadcast live performances straight from the studio. And finally, here's the car. I think this is an excellent build for a car. I mean, I love when Lego makes cars that can fit a driver and a passenger in the same row. But this one also has a back seat for a third minifigure, and it's just very nice. It uses these pretty old style doors, but they work. They open, and while the trunk doesn't open, it's pretty nice and rounded. This almost reminds me of a classic Ford or a Cadillac. And my only gripe about this really would be the windshield. I kind of wish they would have went with something else. It just does not look right to me. So this is the Diner Chef, and as you can see, it's a pretty plain minifigure all around. I don't think there's anything exclusive here. I don't think the face is even a new print. I mean, it might be, but I think I've seen it before. And I do also like the fact that Lego has decided to give the minifigures actual face expressions this time. Next up, we have the Diner Waitress girl, and I really like her torso print. This is a pretty neat print. I don't recognize it, and I also like getting this hair in black. I really like getting more non-blonde girl hair colors. This is the boxer from the second floor gym, and again, not much going on here, but I do really like the fact that they've finally given the boxer minifigure dual molded legs to reflect his pants. I kind of wish there was maybe some like white stripes running down the side or something, and I don't know why Lego keeps giving us more of these red boxing gloves. I just want maybe one more color. I guess the Batman had the purple one, but I mean, I was really hoping for a blue boxing gloves. But I do also like the headpiece, and the head is interesting. This is the female trainer from the upstairs gym, and I really like her gym outfit. It's like a nice hoodie and nice matching pants to go with it, and you might have been able to tell when I turned it around that she also has an alternate expression. Here's her alternate expression, showing a little bit of sweat and maybe a little bit of a bruise on the side of her face. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the musician's agent, and not much going on here, but I do really like the face prints. Her face print looks like it's new to me. I do not recognize it from any other set before it. She also has an alternate expression. Her other look is a little bit more upset, maybe a little bit more serious. And finally, we have the musician, or the rock star. He kind of looks a little bit like Elvis and is sporting an outfit and hairstyle that is pretty similar to it as well. Like the past two minifigures, he also has an alternate expression. His alternate expression looks like he's really taken some soul into his singing, and this is a pretty useful minifigure head for the scenario. And finally, I just wanted to show you guys a quick look at one of the pages of the instruction manual. They did something a little bit different for this set that I've never seen before, and I'm pretty sure is new for 2018. They highlighted or outlined the new pieces that are supposed to be added in that step. They highlighted them in yellow, and I think that's pretty useful. It makes building a lot easier as these sets get bigger and more complicated. So overall, this is a very good set. I did not expect to like this set as much as I did, and this is actually kind of turning out to be one of my favorite sets ever because of all the very unique building techniques. And you know, if you guys don't like the set, you know, it's still good for all the unique parts, and if you don't want the parts, it's, you know, I would look up the manual online. I think Lego usually releases them because this set has a lot of really, really unique build styles, and I mean, just for educational purposes, it's definitely a good thing to look at. There's a lot of unique textures that are achieved through different build styles, and I especially love the diner's curved window on the front. It just looks so nice and very iconic to me. It's very 50s American. And anyways, that's it for my thoughts on this. If you guys like this video, please give it a like. If you have any opinions, you know, let me know if you guys are going to get this yourself in the comments below. And finally, please subscribe to this channel for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.